Oh man, I'll tell you what, clean this up real good, sprayed that all out, got the top of the engine all cleaned up, got it percolating in some WD-40 right now just to displace all the water, and she shined up real nice. But look at this big baby right here. That, my friends, is a Black Widow, and she's about the size of a quarter. And I want you to hear this. You hear that? Bye. That's how you do that. She fell out of there when I was spraying off underneath there, so there's one less of them. I'm sure there's probably two more. They usually have about a 5-foot area that they control. So we keep an eye on anything else that's dark and black and crawling around under here. But she came up from under here. So one of them, but back to the engine. Here we go. Get it all nice and cleaned up. I use a real gentle amount of Dawn dish soaps. I use that Dawn Platinum. I put about a teaspoon in one of those high-end spray bottles. Don't get a cheap Windex bottle or nothing like that. Actually go buy, I think they go about $10, but got a good one in there. And put about a teaspoon of Dawn dish soap in there and then filled it up with water, shook it around, went over it with the spritz here, let it soak for about 10 minutes or so, and then hit it again, and then came back with my hose, and I just gently rained on it, and got down on all the crevices and cracks and everything like that. And boy, look at even the labels pop now. Look at that. This is an OG 1989 car, barn fine. Walking the dogs one day in the neighborhood about a block and a half away and found it sitting in some guy's driveway, and I guess he inherited it or something, and today it's on sale. I said, let me go get some money, and I bought it. So yeah, cleaned up really nice. Like I said, WD-40, that is my favorite invention in the entire universe for coating an engine. Now, keep in mind it is flammable, so you don't want to spray that stuff all over your engine or anything hot or anything with the open flame. However, if it's nice and cool, you can go ahead and coat it, and what will happen is that'll off-gas. The petroleum in it will actually off-gas, but it also soaks into your rubber hoses. So if you ever go to a car dealer and you open the hood and it's nice and shiny like this, that's what that is. It's typically some WD-40 or some sort of product similar to that. They make it shine and make it pop, but it helps to bring out the, actually removes dirt. So watch this. See that? You can actually get, it's actually a degreaser a little bit. Not as good as a full-on degreaser, but it helps to displace the dirt. It it cleans the pores of the engine. It's like giving your engine a little spa treatment, if you will. But we've used this on everything: airplanes, engines, automobiles, lawnmowers, our little mini bike projects, and doing really good. So look at, we got some more. See, that's just from the WD-40, just making it not be able to adhere to the metal anymore. So I got it all up underneath there. This here is just dark. I don't know what it is, but that's where that other VIN number is. And I made sure to cover up our distributor and our alternator appropriately when I was spraying it off. So, and then I got my leaf blower and actually blew out all the water in there. I used the gentle setting on the, or the low setting on the leaf blower. I didn't want to blow off any labels or anything like that because we've already got one right here that's starting to disadhere. So we'll put some glue on there. And then this is just old. But there's some crud in here. Yeah, some 38 years worth of grease and grime and road debris. But, I saw another folks out there working on these, and they in other cars, and they say, sometimes it's preferable to find you an older car that has higher mileage on it, because that means it's been on the road more. And it's probably been maintained over the course of that time. Fluids changed, flushed, and all that, and it gets all the grease lubed in the bearings and stuff like that. So I mean, that's not my advice. I just thought that was kind of a neat approach to do. You know, you see a very low mileage car with, you know, several years on it. It's either A, been parked, or B, something broke down and they just kind of parked it and left it alone. But I don't have my flashlight. Sorry about that. But boy, it just, it got all the rust off the chrome. It brought all of this aluminum back to life. And we're just going to let that, you know, let that WD-40 do its job, and then I'll come back with another can. I actually went through a can and about a third of my leftover one. And so we'll come back and we'll look at this when it's nice and shined up and all the water is gone and it's helped evaporate all that. I'm going to leave the door open to the garage today because we've got some rain here and it's very humid. So it's not going to dry as fast. So hence the reason I use my leaf blower to try to get some of that out of there, to use the old auto shop. So yeah, some guy in his garage watching around with the phone staring at an engine. Let me grab a flashlight because I want to show you. I think I got the majority of that goo that was on top of the engine, where that kind of fresh leak, or that, let's see here. Yeah, see down in there, I think I got to the majority of that crud off of there. It was just kind of sitting there and kind of hard to see it, but that was where that kind of, it looked like it was a fresh oil drip coming off of this thing right here. This, where my finger is down in there. I don't know what that's, oil sending unit or something. Everybody's telling me that there's a grommet or something under it, a gasket that kind of goes bad over time. And see that little white colored plate down there? That's actually, I don't think that's plastic, but maybe there's a seal under that, so we'll look at that. But oh, let's shine this light down in here. Yeah, I got a majority of the crud off. Bad thing is this, the fuel injectors sit vertical, and there's kind of a little divot around them into the heads. And then from what I understand, the cylinder head studs actually have nuts on them. So that's like a cap nut there, and that one right there. So if you pull the heads on these, I saw somebody had to use a forklift to pop them off. Well, we got a little bit of a pretty good leak there. And you see a lot of fittings and hoses. Boy, it really brightened all this up. It's nice to come back and be able to work on something after you've cleaned it, because you can see missing wires. You can see the colors of the wires. You can see the, you know, any connectors not connected, any hose breaks or anything like that. It's going to be really obvious. You know, looks like this AC line is in pretty good shape, hopefully. And there's always crud up underneath there from what I understand. So, and you know, of course, I made sure not to get either our WD-40 or our water as much as I could down into these fittings, because those are watertight seals, like here and here, and I don't want anything, especially on the back of these, you know, these relays and stuff like that. I don't want any of that petroleum from the WD-40, the additive, you know, to get down in there and then kind of adjust the, if there's any corrosion in there. So we got here this, I don't know, that looks like man-made. I don't know, somebody do that in the garage? We'll find out. But yeah, real nice. It's this little black cap here. I don't know what that is. It's metal. Oh, it's plastic. I wonder what that is. Pop-off valve or something? But look, it even brought back the yellow in the fan. And, you know, again, up underneath there, I didn't really do the bottom at all. I just kind of stood there and sprayed the hose up underneath there. So if you're looking to do something like this, here's how I do it. So, and again, if I can do it, you can do it. Get out there, get these roads, these cars, get working on them, get your hands dirty. You know, learn while you're doing stuff, and figure out how it was done. You know, in the future, you'll be able to type something in ChatGTP and say, I remember those old engines, make it better like this. And who knows, reinvention all the time, make it better. Getting a patent on a new and improved version. Let's get this flashlight one last time and I'll shine it down in here. What do we got down in here? Anything nasty, grimy? It didn't look too bad, too bad. Top of that bell housing is crudded up. But, yeah, did wonders. All right, thanks for sitting 10 minutes into this video. Some guy in his garage walking around shining a flashlight in his engine. But appreciate everybody. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I do, and watch the other YouTubers who are doing similar things and learn by doing. And thanks so much. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And ask me any questions, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you.